Hello and welcome back once again to Infinite Jeff. The project where I, Jeff, read the book Infinite Jeff to you one page at a time, one day at a time. It's currently August 2nd, the year 2020, 11:06 a.m. Gotta work at 12:45, so I'm gonna knock this out and get ready for work, and we'll go from there. But, yeah. Anyway, this is page 165. Here we go. Spiders, and never on the ground under a palm. He knew he was too grotesquely tall and ungainly to stand up in a hurry or roll screaming out of the way in a hurry in case of falling spiders. They've been known to be willing to drop right out of the trees they hide in the daytime, you know. Drop right on you if you're sitting on the ground in the shade. He was no fool, the bastard, a golfer. They all watched. I was right there in the first court. This park no longer exists, Jim. Cars are now parked on what used to be these rough green asphalt courts, shimmering in the heat. They were right there, watching, their heads going back and forth in that windshield wiper way of people watching quality tennis. And I was nervous, young sir, J.O.I., with the one and only himself there in all his wooden glory there, watching, half in and out of the light. Expressionless? I was not. I was in my body. My buddy and I were one. My Wood Wilson, from my stack of Wood Wilsons in their trapezoid presses, was a sentient expression of my arm, and I felt it singing, in my hand, and they were alive. My well-armed hand was the secretary of my mind, lithe and responsive, and senza errori, because I knew myself as a body, and I was fully inside my little child's body out there, Jim. I was in my big right arm and scarless legs, safely ensconced, running here and there, my head pounding like a heart, sweat purled on every limb, running like a veldt creature, leaping, frolicking, striking with maximum economy and minimum effort, my eyes on the ball and the corners both. I was 2, 3, a couple shots ahead of both me and the hapless canine client's kid, handing the dandy his pampered ass. It was carnage. It was a scene out of nature in its raw state, Jim. You should have been there. The kid kept bending over to get his breath. The smoothly economical frolicking I was doing contrasted starkly compared to the heavily jerky way he was being forced to stomp around and lunge. His white knit shirt and name-brand shorts were soaked through so you could see the straps of his jock biting into the soft ass I was handing him. He wore a flitty little white visor such as 52-year-old women at country clubs and posh southwestern resorts wear. I was, in a word, deft, considered, prescient. I made him stomp and stagger and lunge. I wanted to humiliate him. The client's long, sharp face was sagging. My father had no face. It was sharply shadowed, and then illuminated in the wagging fronds shadow he half stood in, but was wreathed in smoke from the long filters he fancied, long plastic filtered holders, yellowed in the stem, in imitation of the president, as courtiers once spluttered with the king, veiled in shade and then lit smoke. The client didn't know enough to keep quiet. He thought it was a ball game or something. The client's voice carried. Our first court was right near the tree they sat under. The client's legs were out in front of them and protruded from the sharp star of frond shade. His slacks were lattice-shadowed from the pattern on the fence his son and I just played behind. He was drinking the lemonade my mother had brought for me. She made it fresh. He said I was good. My father's client. Alrighty, that was page 165 of Infinite Jest on Infinite Jeff. It's Infinite Jest. Good night.